Good morning, everybody. I hope you're all rested and ready for today's webinar. Before we start the webinar, I want to introduce you to our panelists. Before any vehicle hits the road, there are thousands of major steps involved. Find out how a modern vehicle is designed from Bosnia and Herzegovina expert who has worked on 3 continents, Sajdin Osmancevic. Sajdin was born in 1990 in Zenica, Bosnia and Herzegovina. He graduated with a Bachelor's of Product Design at the Academy of Fine Arts at the University of Sarajevo. His professors claimed that his talent is above the average and his awards are proof of that. For years, he attended Auto Art conference, participating in the Auto Art Design Challenge, which he won in 2013, thus fully fulfilling the mission of the conference. From 2011 to 2012, he worked for Misha Designs in Los Angeles. From 2012 to 2014 for Prevent Group, and from 2015 to 2016 for BMW Group. From 2016 to 2019, he was employed by the Volkswagen Group, Skoda, as an exterior designer, and in the 2019, he presented the first car he designed independently, the Skoda Vision IV concept. In late 2019, he was approached by automotive industry giant Ford, spending time in Germany and China. His move to China also led to his latest role as the senior lead designer for Great Wall, China's largest sport utility vehicle, or SUV, and pickup truck producer. So there you have it. That's our panelists today. And before we even get started, I want to note all the participants. You can ask questions during the meeting, but in the QA section or in the chat, and I will read them to our panelists at the end of his presentation. Okay, now Sajdin, you can start.
Hi everyone. Good morning or good evening. I don't know which time is in your country. Thank you, Maria, for a suitable introduction. Actually, 10 years ago, I started to work on my design career, and when Eddie suggested that we could have a webinar, I was thinking, yeah, it could be maybe a good chance to summarize these 10 years and to share with you guys the experience what I gained through this period, to also to talk about some challenges what I met, and also some great moments which pushed me to work even harder and to push even more toward the goals. And yeah, in the very beginning, since Melika actually introduced me, I would already start with some now for me very cool and funny story, which actually was really first step in my career. I grew up in a small village in central Bosnia, near the small town Bosana, and in a part of country which is really underdeveloped. So yeah, I grew up in a village, and yeah, I was actually, as a kid, I was taking care about sheep. So now maybe it's not so attractive job, but actually gave me a lot of time to think about my future and about the situation we are all in that period, because I'm like post-war kids. So not easy, I mean, not very bright childhood for all of us in that period. But yeah, back to our topic. When since I finished my elementary school in my local community, and I graduated my high school in Busovac, a small town. And during that period, just few weeks before I graduated, since I was also drawing already in that time, I already had pretty clear what I would like to work on in my life, but actually I didn't know that this exists. But yeah, I was still pushing because this was just my passion. And I was drawing everywhere, like in school, on tables, on walls. I was also sending my works to many local, I would call them newspapers. And some of them got published by internal news, school news. And one of my professors, he called me in his office and he said to me, like, I saw the sketches you published, and I just want to ask you, is this really your job? I mean, or or you took from internet or something. Actually, that time he didn't ask me about internet because internet was quite new. So, but yeah, I confirmed I did, and he was actually the first man who was actually from the education system who advised me to, and who told me, like, I think maybe this could be your call, because I mean, yeah, I'm not expert in there, but this is really amazing. And yeah, I actually listened to him. So from that day on, I was working even more serious on improving my skills, and to have a better chance later to apply for design university. And later, when I finished when I graduated the high school, I tried to enter university in Sarajevo, but actually I was not accepted. I failed. I got 1-0, so I was disqualified somehow. And then I switched to, I applied for university in Zenica for engineering. So I went there for 1 year. But in the meantime, I was whole time researching internet. Actually, this was the time, yeah, when internet just came, and then I was going in these internet clubs and researching, because I didn't have internet at home. I think nobody had it in that time. And researching about design, about cars. I actually didn't know even what I should research, but I was typing some things I even don't remember. But I was searching for. I have in my mind it must be some gathering or some website where you can find out something about car design, or you can maybe meet some professionals, or maybe send some emails that they grade your work. And after really a long time, maybe 6-7 months of research, probably because I was not good in research, that's why it took me so much time. And I found a competition in Zagreb, design conference and competition in Zagreb. And I decided, yeah, to participate. But I mean, now it's going some short story which could be really inspiring for all of you guys. I wanted to join competition, but I didn't have money to go, even though it's just in Zagreb. But to take I don't know, 100 euros and spend just for some trip that nobody actually knows or trusts or believe while going there, I mean, this was impossible. So I asked, I mean, I couldn't give up somehow. I was all the time thinking how to go, even though I didn't have a clue. I mean, I was pretty sure that I can't go. But I got idea to try to ask the competition management or conference management that they send me the original stamped confirmation that I'm part of that conference. So I got idea to ask local government for support. And believe me or not, in my case, it worked actually. I'm probably one of the very few people who can say about that positively. Local government, I went to meet with local government in Busovača, and first I was thinking they will just refuse me, like what everybody expect, but actually they didn't refuse me. They listened my story, and they asked me to wait some time that they consider, and then in some days they informed me that they approved the money for cost of the trip to Zagreb. And wow, this was just a great moment for me. I mean, first time I'm actually traveling somewhere. So, and but yeah, since I was a student and actually not easy situation for most of people there. Actually, I used that. I was applying further because I didn't believe that I would get the money from state. I applied also in some hotel in Zagreb for free service. I mean, to sleep for free stay, and I also applied in one bus company for free ticket, and actually all this worked. So they all gave me full. I mean, full, whatever I request, they gave me. So for that money, actually, what I got from state, I actually bought some clothes to look, you know, to be suitable on a presentations. And yeah, I went there on this competition, and this was like a beginning of entering some, like watching your dream, like getting close to it, but still, I mean, very far away. And yeah, there I met many professionals, many people who discussed with me, who discussed about for first time about the car design. I have to apologize. I actually forgot to follow the presentation. So okay, here I am already with my works. I showed them to the professionals, and they were, I have to say, pretty impressed for my ages and for somebody who never actually entered the who never got any advice from professionals. So for me, it was, of course, a big push. But the second day of this conference, one of the speakers gave me his 5 minutes to present myself on a stage, to just to sketch something. And in these 5 minutes, I sketched something, and then one man behind, I mean, from audience, came to me. He's Mate Rimac. He's the owner of today's one of the most successful, definitely most successful Croatian company. He asked me to work for him, and actually, in that time, since I didn't have any education. I mean, the car design is not actually about sketching. The sketching is just important to enter. I said to him, "Look, I only can sketch. I cannot. I can't provide you anything else." He was really sorry, but he was in a hurry with his projects, and but we stay in contact. I didn't get this job, but for me it was extremely important. When I came home, I truly decided to focus my time like 24 hours whenever I'm not sleeping, to think about how actually to reach a level where I will be able really to work for some big car company. Because if that guy gave me like, if I catch his trust with only 5 minutes, I mean, it must be some quality, yeah. And yeah, we stay in touch. We're today also in touch. He's a great person. I mean, I met him a couple of years, a couple of times later, but yeah, now I went my own way. These two works I want to show you are actually my competing works from this conference. This first left one is from I think 2012, and this docking, the right one, is 2013, when I actually won the competition. The theme was to create interior for a first Croatian electric car. So I managed to win between I think 60 competitors all over the world. After this competition, of course, I came back. I entered finally my university in Sarajevo from second time, because this time I got professional references from professional car designers. So I have to say my test, what we are doing, entering test, this next year, I mean, I did pretty worse than previous, but still I was enough to that they accept me. I have to say, I could, let's say, through all this webinar, I will talk about what I did, but I will also try to mix with some advices in between. Like when I was a second year of university, I already applied for internship in Misha Designs in company in US. I have to say my scholarship foundation, Bosana Foundation, helped me a lot about this. They actually organized all trip, but of course I had to pass. I mean, the company needs to confirm that they want me. So I did a couple of works for them. The answer was positive. So this was my first overseas job. Yeah, in United States. There I was working on body kits, on redesigning aftermarket these luxury cars like Porsche, Ferrari, some expensive Mercedes-Benz. And what I actually want to mention here, I started very early, so I didn't wait to accomplish university. I know we all saying like, I will do it, I don't have time from university, or I will do it, I don't know, after I finish, or I even know some guys, they say, some of my friends, they were saying like, I will finish university and they make some break to get rest and then search for job. I think this, you should rather think about pension than about job in that time, because nowadays market is really changing fast. So if you when you get aware of, especially about international competition, how people are, there are people everywhere who are like working like really like full time to improve their skills. And if you think just like that it will be super easy just when you finish university, I think it's wrong, because this is actually the best time. And university, yeah, you have many exams. That's true. It's also a difficult time for everybody, but real challenges, they will come after university. So rather, I would advise you start as soon as possible, even at least as a summer job. As okay, I will tell you also one more thing. When I applied for this job in US, I was actually asking only for to get paid cost of travel and the living costs there. So I even didn't request any special salary or something. So especially when you're entering your first jobs, I know still it's difficult. Of course, we all have to finance our lifestyle from somewhere, but don't risk by asking for some high salary. Even though later I got salary from company, because they answered that this is not their way. But I didn't want to risk that anybody else come with better offer, because this for me was extremely important chance. So yeah, there I was working like around one year for them. And in that time, I also tried to enter the university, Pasadena, the best car design university in US. But since they didn't want to accept my 1 year finished already in Bosnia, I actually decided to come back and to finish my university in Bosnia. During time in Bosnia, actually, I was working for Prevent. Many of you heard Prevent is one of the biggest supplier of Volkswagen Group, of many car companies. And when I won this competition in Zagreb, actually they heard from me, and they invited me for meeting to discuss about possible cooperation. In Prevent, I have to say also I got many opportunities. I was developing many things like car seats. You can see like luxury bags, like suitcases, luggage, also full cars as a concept, which was to me just amazing. With Prevent, I stayed 2 years. I developed this couple of projects, and then I switched to because I was still on university, maybe third or not still final years. I still couldn't work full time, so I was applying for this, let's say, contractor jobs. So I was working for some small companies, like here you can see the electric luxury bike I developed for one company. After I graduated, I already got pretty much of experience actually with what things you have to deal with customers, with many things inside of any organization. So then my next move was to Munich to work for as a contractor to BMW supplier. I was working on BMW details. I had luck that in that time they had luxury projects. So, and also what was surprising for me, I stayed very short time there. Maybe I was working 6 months, but I managed to get fully developed details like wheels. I developed all by myself. Even at some point they were missing some engineers, so I quickly learned many things from what Elias or Katya engineers are doing. So I learned their job, and on the end I managed to accomplish it. So I mean, what is important in this whole story, that every chance, every opportunity you should be ready for. And even if you are not ready for it, you have to be agile. You have to move quickly. Like I remember when I was working for this company, for the wheel design, when they said that there is lack of the engineers for Elias and modelers, I was going back to home and then having dinner and going back to work to learn, and then staying maybe until midnight. And I was doing that all time until I didn't manage to show something out. So sometimes you don't have to show everything, but you have to show some step that they see, like that, okay, even if you don't know, you are quick, you can learn it quickly. After BMW, I joined to the team to design team in Skoda. There I got chance to work on full cars, so full exterior, and I was mainly working on actually this project. What I'm showing now, it's a concept first Skoda electric car. On all these projects in Skoda, I was working with Omer Halilhodzic, another expert. He's a very important guy in car industry. He's the one in the middle from right side, long hair. Actually, I learned a lot of many things from him. I learned how to behave in a big car company or big organization, because it's not always important that you are best or that you offer the best result. It's actually, it's a matter of time. You have to offer best things in best time to the best people. So to the right people, you should give the right thing. You don't have to give them the best thing, actually. So yeah, we accomplished together this concept. And in the meantime, I was working on one personal project. It's a Bugatti SUV, and which I actually didn't expect, but this car gave me deserves most of credit for all my success now, because after this project is released, on the internet, even though it's you can't buy this car. It's just a concept. I really got so many offers all over the world. The many car design agents start to approach me. So actually, I can say anymore, I'm not in search for job. I basically calculating like where I could apply from the offers I get. So on this project, I was working actually as an extra job for 8 months. This is the third project, actually, in the second project for Skoda. It's a SUV, first electric production car for Skoda. And here I was working as well with the Omer Halilhodžić. And I think, yeah, this is so far the best Skoda, the best Skoda's model. I mean, it's not only my opinion; it's opinion of the professional community. It's actually with this project, Skoda really overtook Volkswagen as a brand, which is really unusual. After almost 4 years in Skoda, I have to say I enjoyed all this time in Skoda, but after 4 years, I just wanted to quit. I'm a person who likes to try new things and new environment, to work with new people. So yeah, I joined to Ford. There I was working on this super sport gaming car. It's actually also, this is not real car. It's made for game. And I was working also for next generation of Ford Transit cars, which are coming maybe in 2-3 years. So I can't actually say anything special about them. Also, second project I like a lot to do, like self-motivated. This is the project. This is the coffee maker, inspired by Bugatti again, and this also concept. But all these projects actually gave me a lot of influence with journalists. If you type just in some international media, car media, about me, I mean, you can probably find more than about some really experienced designers with maybe 20-30 years of experience. So everything counts, every effort counts. Maybe sometimes you fail, but later you will use the chance. And now finally I joined to Chinese car company, Great Wall Motor. Since 3 years, I was interested to join to some Chinese company because looks like, yeah, a lot of bright future is in China actually. And since in Ford was, I have to say, a really great company for me, like probably one of the best company I could ever imagine, but was a bit missing. I was missing challenges. Like everything was just going good, smoothly, but pretty slow for my taste. And yeah, that's why I quit end of last year, and I decided to come in China and to work for Great Wall Motors. About this company, I also can't say anything special at the moment, because I'm here only like half year and the projects are ongoing. But I have to say that I experience a really big difference between Europe and China. Here's much more difficult to work with Chinese companies inside, like because of different organizations, different way of decision making. But what is the most different is actually that they are trying to decrease the process, the time of usual process. For example, for one car, usual process takes maybe 3 years, to even sometimes 4 years, but they want to cut it for 50%, which makes a lot of pressure for all professionals, but also I have to say, after half year, it taught me to deal with a lot of pressure. Now I can just quickly go through some basic process in car design. If somebody is interested later, he can ask for more details in any of these areas. In every big organization like Volkswagen, Skoda, or now Great Wall Motors, we always start product by planning and research. Like we always think, I think like it's more or less similar to any industry. You have to think to whom you will sell the product. So we are planning like and making research about the specific customers which are important for us, like target groups. And when we pass through all these, then we switch to second phase. We are actually taking this all research and comparing with the, let's say, our what are our possibilities and abilities, like what we can afford, what we have internally, what we can develop that suits to these customers. Sometimes you have research, but you find out what you need, but still you are not able. You don't have a technology to do that, or you're not on that level of experience. After we set all these targets, then we are starting with real design process that that this stage is most known as a design stage, where we actually creating the ideas for how this car may look in future. So what is also maybe important, that every big corporation like Volkswagen or now Great Wall Motors, they have many teams all over the world. Like we have a internal competition, like we have studio in Munich, there is a studio in Shanghai, studio in Yokohama in Japan. There are 4 studios here where I am located, and they all compete to get the same project. So if you win, you go further with project development. If you lose, it's still okay, but if you lose 3-4 times, then company consider your contract. Okay, then let's say in case we win, next stage is actually the model development through the CAS, through the virtual 3D, and through the clay. I would say, it's still competition. Still, many studios are competing, but let's say not let's say 15 teams, or but now it's only, let's say, 4 to 5 the best, and they are still competing. But on the end of process, it will be basically only one product. After we pass this stage, we consider all. We are also considering this car. Then with we're benchmarking it. We are comparing with existing competition. If they are better still, if they can't be better, because these cars are already on market. So if they are better than we are now, so it means our project is not good enough. So we have to come back and do previous stage again. And this image is presenting the final stage, when design and engineering is actually, I forgot just to mention before this stage. After design is chosen, then it's coming adjustment of design and engineering, that they all work together, and that they all choose together, like what is the simplest way to do any part of car, and what is the cheapest way. So there is a lot of discussion about this. Let's say, every company is like a couple of departments, and every department is actually fighting for its interests. Like financial departments, they always have a aim to spend less money, but some design is more expensive, some engineering is more expensive. Also, engineering department is searching for some solution which is always more simple to do with the less hours. So we all have to convince somehow each other and negotiate, and then on the end, this is the product. I have to say all these processes are, nobody can't say that they are everywhere like that. So it always depends from organization, from company, from how many professionals company dealing with, like what is the budget, how big companies, like in which countries, because there are many regulations which are different for many products. So it's nothing, everything can be different, everything is relative. So yeah, I would finish here with my presentation. Thank you for attention and for joining us. And if you have now questions, yeah, you can ask me.
Thank you so much for the great presentation. I even found myself when you started talking about like drawing in the school on the desks. I even did that myself, and now I'm kind of like creatively oriented in the field of software development. So yeah, I think it's amazing when you can find yourself in your childhood what do you want to do. So yeah, we have one question. Yeah. Have you heard of AI, that AI can design cars? If yes, what's your opinion on that?
Can you just repeat, sorry?
Have you heard of AI, artificial intelligence, that can design cars? If yes, what is your opinion on that?
I think it's possible, yeah. But I would say this is probably design, and this creative industry is the last industry where the artificial intelligence will enter, actually. So artificial intelligence can do many things, yeah. But for now, maybe, in my opinion, maybe it can, because still artificial intelligence works on a way that takes some information, calculate them, and give some result according to some patterns. So it can do a lot of things, yeah. But I think in this stage, in this stage of development, I would say still it's not possible. Otherwise, companies, they would use that. So. But maybe it's, I don't know, maybe in 5-10 years, probably most of companies, especially for some generative design, like for some products that are not actually where the styling or surfacing is not the main characteristic which actually sells them. Probably in future, many companies will use artificial intelligence, maybe also helped by designer.
Okay, thank you. And we have another question. Which software do you use during the process?
Actually, yeah, that's a good question. For making sketches, I was a lot of practicing by hand sketching. But for making like presentation images, I use mainly Photoshop. It's part of Adobe package. I think, yeah, it's well-known program. Then for developing these sketches in 3D for engineering, I use mainly Alias because it's actually it's the biggest. It's part of Autodesk, and it's very important program, especially in car industry. But in nowadays coming some other programs like Blender, which are more artistic, which help you to go on halfway, and then after passing this stage, they switch to Alias. These programs are a bit faster, but still not so precise, and still the engineering can't use them. So I prefer for now I prefer Alias, but maybe for new designers who, let's say, who doesn't have knowledge in any 3D program, I think maybe Blender could be a good option to learn, because it's getting super popular because it is for free, and yeah, then also many companies are forcing that because it's for free, because Alias is mega expensive. Like for, I think almost some designers, even on my level, like I'm considering, can I can I actually afford this? But actually, I don't need it for my private purpose, so I use it in company.
Okay, thank you. We have another question. I'm studying engineering design and I am interested in car design industry. Do you have any advice for a beginner designer?
I would say that, yeah, now the competition is probably the biggest ever, because design before was not so popular, and not many people even knew that design is actually some discipline. But now it's a really big competition, but also the possibilities to get attention and to be seen by some professional or by some company are also best ever. So I would say follow, if you have Instagram, follow the pages where actually they publishing many design opportunities. They're featuring many designers, not only car industry, whatever industry. So if you have a social networks, use them for purpose, for real purpose. Try to connect with people. Try to always. I mean, the way I was always working, I was always trying to find the best example and try to maybe not win, but try to go on that level. And if I'm not going on that level, I'm working until I don't reach that. So yeah, advice is try to connect more to the social networks. I think now I think even it's possible to get in car design without university or in design in general, because if you accomplish these programs and if you show what is good in design, that you can show that on the internet, you can show that to the potential customers, investors, or people who could give you a job. This is really big advantage. So the main task is just follow what the best, I don't know, you can just type, when I was my first research, I don't know, like 10 years ago, like I was typing the best 10 designers or the best, I don't know, the best cars or best this, and then trying to, and of course also try to get on these kind of seminars. I mean, not just this one, but the seminars where they talk about car design or design in general, or your profession or the profession you want. So try to follow to be more informed. Okay, now with Corona, it's a bit more difficult, but later when will be okay situation, don't. Don't hesitate to spend money to go directly on some seminars, on some meetings, on some conferences to attend, because what actually creates your opportunities are people. You know, without people, we can be, I don't know, the geniuses, but for whom? To whom we will sell? Because everything we need to sell, even if it's positive and sometimes negative, or it's useless, but still some people manage to sell it. So there are some other who are genius, but they just don't manage to get on the right place.
Okay, thank you. We have another question. What do you think about the design of BMW E30?
E30. I have to just check. This is the newest one? I want to answer a question. This actually, it's not the newest one. Actually, I like this car a lot. I really appreciate it, and it's small city car, but you see, it's not always only about design. Everything has to work together. This car has a bit problematic business plan, because this car and E18, i8, they are great cars, but actually they are made by, they have a carbon base. And with this carbon base, when you crash car, when you have a car accident, it's almost not possible to repair it. So you have to buy new base, which actually makes very expensive insurance for these cars. So that's why these cars, first, they are also pretty expensive to buy. Second, the insurance is hyper expensive. So you don't see them many on the street, but I really love it.
Okay, thank you. We have one question. How much is it, and is it difficult to harmonize the requirements of engineering and car model design?
On the end, everything, as I said, depends on people. Sometimes if I have some engineers who is also motivated like me, he will find solution for almost everything. And also if I'm motivated and if I have also, let's say, pretty good background to understand engineering, then I will not give him some requests which are impossible to solve. And all requests what I give him, which are promising or possible to solve, he will solve the best way. But if I'm working with some engineer who is probably a guy who is maybe 30 years in same position and he actually doesn't have any wish to change his position, he's satisfied, he want to keep his job, then with this type of guys, it's really hard to accomplish anything. And it's coming with, you're getting many discussions, sometimes even unpolite discussions, and sometimes even higher level should involve to persuade the engineers that they should accept the solution, that it's not so expensive how they say, because, for example, they usually coming, not everybody, of course, but usually if they have no wish to solve something, they usually coming with a statement that it's too expensive or that they have already something similar. So why spend money to develop another part if they have something similar? So we slightly change it. But again, yeah, to summarize, it's up to people. If I have a good engineer with me, who is, yeah, then we are working together. It also depends from connection between people. Like if you are friendly, people will help you. So good attitude is always plus. If you are, it can happen like very often, like if you are not good attitude, people, they don't like you so much, so they will not help you, but they will help your competitors. So it's always good to stay in good relationship with everybody.
Thank you. And we have another question. Do you like the design of the new Rimac Nevera recently revealed? Sorry if I pronounced it wrong.
Yeah, I like the design. I think this previous first concept one is, to me, it's a bit nicer and more original, but still it's well done car. So I don't know, is it really so outstanding? Probably not, but it's let's say well done job. It's okay.
Okay, and while we wait for more questions, I have one question for you. When working in the car design industry, do you prefer like the old-timer looks or like the new super car looks? Sorry, for comparison, like Ford Mustang 1969 or Ford Mustang, the last one?
I actually like the of course the retro cars, but the problem is that the regulations are changing every year, and every year car has to bring more and more technology with itself, and more safety protections, and more some rules about pedestrians, about, yeah, many things. Also, many cars are today like that. The way they've done some surfacing is also because of robots, because robots are mounting the car, assembling. So they have to, for them, some shape is easier to access. But yeah, these cars from 70s, or I like even from 50s, they are somehow close to your heart somehow. They have soul. But yeah, this, as I said, the situation changed through the years. In China, the rules are slightly relaxed about it. I mean, more relaxed than in Europe and US. so they still can have some, they can make some retro cars. I mean, in Europe, everywhere is possible to make retro car, but it has to suit to the nowadays requirements.
Okay, I think that's it. Okay, no, we have one more question. Are there any special requests for a designer when designing electric cars in comparison to the regular ones?
Well, actually, electric cars are much easier to handle because the engines are smaller. There is way less parts for electric cars, so it's actually you get a bit more freedom and more space to design because combustion engine cars, there is so many pieces inside which you have to take care on. And yeah, for me, I think it's much easier. I mean, there are some requirements for battery and protection and things like this, but generally, I think it's easier to work than to design a car with combustion engine.
Okay, thank you. So after this, I don't think we have any more questions. I want to thank you for your amazing presentation and all the advices and answering to our questions. Thank you for your time, and
Thank you for your invitation, and yeah, I hope we see us again in some years.